the Department of English, DAV Unit 8, I extend a warm welcome to our judges, Madam Kabita Kanungo. She's from DAV Public School, CDA Cuttack, and Sharada Khutia ma'am. She's also from DAV Public School, Pokhriput, Bhubaneswar. It's indeed a great pleasure for all of us to have you both with us today to encourage our students to see what creative minds they have and how creatively they have put in their ideas in their presentations. And I hope, along with the students, the participants here today, our jury members also will enjoy the presentations, as well as we are sure with your valuable inputs, all of us are going to be benefited, and we all are going to have a very enriching session today, which we are going to start now. So with your permission, Kabita ma'am and Sharada ma'am, shall I start? Shall we start?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, all of you. It's a great pleasure to be a part of your exhibition again. For year, I think from last year onwards, I have been means a judge here, not only a judge, a great learner. So every time children are putting on so many new things, new projections and all. It's really a great. I mean, a nice thing to see that today's Zenex learners are coming out with new ideas, new projections and all. So I feel an exhibition is not the result of your experiment, but the process is never ending. And I hope this exhibition is not the conclusion; it's a beginning of a new mind which will go on exploring its talent for all times to come. With these words, I just want to encourage all of you and congratulations all of you for being a part of this program. Hoping a great learning from your side. Waiting for all. Okay,
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your inspiring words. And I remember last year also you were there in our senior group as a judge, and it was quite an enriching session with you, ma'am. Sharada ma'am, would you like to say something to our participants?
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope I'll be able to see some really innovative ideas, and all the best to all of you. Put up your best show today, not to win, but just to enjoy the participation. That's all I would like to say, all the participants. Please enjoy your participation. Do not think about the results or anything. Just enjoy the process here. That's all this, the purpose of the exhibition is that. Right? And of course, some people will win, some may not be so good, some will be very good, but that doesn't matter at all. What matters is that you are able to come up here and showcase your ideas. You're able to present your ideas to such huge number of audience. That is what matters. So all the best, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I think what you said is very, very important, that the process is important, not the outcome. The process, the journey is important. So with this idea, let us all start with our first presentation. But I would just like to tell all the participants here that once we have the once you complete your participation, once you complete your presentation, after that, I would be requesting the judges to give their to ask questions and to give their feedback, right? So it will be after every presentation. Is that, ma'am, fine with both of you?
Yes. It's
okay,
right.
fine.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So here we have first participant with the code 020, and I would request the first participant with the code 020 to share the screen and start today's session. The topic of the first one is the way music influences our mentality. So here goes the first participant? Yes, please start.
Good afternoon, everyone, esteemed judges, teachers, and all my dear friends. Today, I, Arpita Behra of 11A, going to present on my chosen topic, the way music and technology influence our mentality. Now, what is music? Music has music has 5 letters of word, which means M. M for melody, U for universality, S for sincerity, I for individuality, and C for clarity. Music is an arrangement of sounds having melody, rhythm, and usually harmonic classical music which soothes you. The word music comes from the Greek word musica, which means the art of the Moses. In ancient Greece, the Moses included the goddess of poetry, art, and dance. Now, let us understand what is technology. Technology is science, a knowledge that put into practical use to solve our problems or invent useful tools. It has the capability to bring the people together as well as enhance the social abilities of today's youth. Now, how does music influence in our daily life? Emotion induced by music are subjective phenomena. Music also motivates you. It can help to relax and sleep. It can inspire to do greater things. Music is everywhere in every community. Music is the strongest form of magic. When we listen to sad songs, we tend to feel a decline in mood. When we listen to happy songs, we feel happier. How does music and technology influence young generation? Children and adolescents typically spend 2.5 hours a day listening to music by the use of technology such as radio, phones, MP3 players, internet streaming sites such as Google, Ghana, etc. The amount of time children and adolescents spend listening to music in its various forms has continued to increase over the years. Children used to listen music when they do mathematics or ride bicycles. Young people wake up to it, drive to it, play to it, study to it, and go to sleep to it. It's music and technology. Now, power of music and technology. Music has scientifically proven to have a powerful effect on the brain. Some examples are medicine for heart, boosts immunity, enhances intelligence and learning, improves concentration and attention, reduces stress and decreases depression. Now, music influences the great people like Albert Einstein. For Einstein, ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, ma'am. For Einstein, it stimulated parts of his brain that could not be accessed through sitting by his desk. He declared, if I were not a physicist, I would probably be a musician. I often think in music. I live my daydreams in music. I see my music in terms of music. I cannot tell if I would have done any creative work of importance in music, but I do know that I get most joy in life out of my violin. Now, music is everywhere. We hear music on the street, at cinemas, at our home, etc. Music provides energy to our soul's blood. Dancing is not possible without music. Music is played to celebrate our joy. It enhances the bravery of soldiers. Now, technology is everywhere. From phones to our cars, from work to our home, technology enhances our lives, bringing us closer to information, entertainment, and each other. The latest Digital 2019 report shows we are spending on average 6 hours and 42 minutes online each day. Technology has the power to do many things, and changing the world is one of them. The best example I can share in this corona period, we are completely dependent on the online classes. Now, music also influences on animals and plants. Special effects of music aid is used for hens in laying more eggs. Music can help calm 12 movement. Studies have shown that playing down-tempo or classical music helps them feel more relaxed, which results in increasing milk production. Now, as everything in this world has a positive side and a negative side, music and technology has also negative side. Loud music creates noise pollution, which might make people and animals angry and violent. Music promotes and glorifies crimes like drugs and alcohol. Music promotes to do suicide. It makes people addicted. Now, let us see some of the popular singers. Firstly, Lata Mangeshkar. Second, Kishore Kumar, the legendary singer. Third, Arjit Singh. Fourth, Michael Jackson. At last, I end my presentation by saying music is something that never betrays anyone. It once admitted to the soul becomes a sort of spirit and never dies. Thank you. Have a nice day ahead.
Thank you, code 020. I would request this slight deviation from what we discussed, that I think after all the parties, all the presentations, I'll invite both our judges to give their feedback, because that's how we can maintain neutral judgment. And just to remind all the participants, the time limit for your presentation is 5 minutes. So please keep a watch on the time, so that each one of you will get 5 minutes to speak, to tell us what you want. Okay, so here goes the next. Ma'am said no. Would you like to ask some questions, ma'am?
Yes. Okay. Okay. You quoted Albert Einstein. You are
Yes,
in
ma'am.
class 11 also. Can you just tell me which instrument he was playing?
Ma'am, violin.
Violin. In what way it developed his his interest in science, or you can say it killed his boredom or something like that? I just want to know in what way it influenced his personality.
Okay, ma'am. And for Einstein, it was a notion that architecture and formal beauty was in music. It stimulated parts of his brain that could not be accessed through sitting in his desk.
Okay. My second question, just a simple thing, a very personal
Okay.
question. What part music in form of technology has played in your life?
Ma'am, without technology, we can't do anything. With technology, when I am in stress or doing some project or like mathematics, so it gives a concentration when I listen to music. Even personally, I listen to music when I solve mathematics.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Shall we move on to the next participant?
Yes, ma'am. Please
Right.
to the next part.
Okay. Next we have 021. 021.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. Is my screen visible?
Yes, visible.
Okay. Technology is at its best when it unites people together. Likewise, vocabulary comes out in its best phase when it gives vision and idea to people. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Anjali Mishra from 11A, and I'm going to take all of you to a ride of complete vocabulary transition. We all are technophiles. That is, we love using technology. We love exploring the different facets of technology. But how can technology help us in improving our vocabulary? And how can it stimulate our linguistic skills is what I'm going to discover and explore today. Now, the first question that comes in our mind is, why do we need to master vocabulary? What is the need of doing it? Well, vocabulary forms a streamlining base of one's productive and receptive knowledge. Now, whatever knowledge I possess, whatever knowledge you possess, or whatever knowledge anyone else possesses, how can one exhibit that? And that is what, through one's vocabulary. For example, let's take up a common situation. What do you call a person who is extremely desirous of money? The first word that comes to mind is greedy. But greedy is a word which is common to all those people. What is that one unique word that we would give to that particular person? That is avaricious. Likewise, what do you call a person who can use both the hands with equal ease? That's an ambidextrous person. What do you call a person who comes to settle the disputes in cases of discrepancies? It's an arbitrator. Likewise, there are many other words which represent a particular phenomenon that makes a count in our vocabulary. Now, to master in vocabulary or to gain more information in vocabulary, now what is the necessity of doing it? Basically, vocabulary forms the mastering of 4 language skills: reading, listening, speaking, and writing. Any successful communication is built upon the ability of being able to use the right word, and that's exactly why we need vocabulary. Now, as all of us are academicians and we love exploring the different academic contents of our subjects, so how do we relate vocabulary and academics? Now, all those people who are sitting with us, or the students, are the fellow participants, we all must be knowing about various competitive examinations like GME, GMAT, TOEFL, IELTS, CAT, SSC, Bank PO, and all other examinations. Now, the common gateway to crack all these examinations is a master vocabulary. In IELTS and TOEFL, we need high frequency or multiple meaning, or we can say subject-related or theme-oriented vocabulary. One needs to master different kinds of words in different contexts in order to be able to clear the examination. For example, what is another word for precarious? Now, if we look at the meaning of precarious, precarious means something which is not sure of, uncertain. And here we have the option uncertain. But in case a person doesn't know the meaning of this word, he won't be able to answer this question. Moving on, what are the types of vocabulary and how do we identify the different tiers of vocabulary? You, me, and some other person might say that I possess a very good vocabulary. Now, how do we test it? We are having 3 tiers of vocabulary, basic vocabulary. The words like abandon, advocate, they talk about all common things. That is at level 1 or tier 1 vocabulary. Moving on to the second tier, which is high frequency or multiple meaning. Now, words like serendipity, which means equanimity, peaceful environment. Demeanor, which talks about our outward behavior towards something. Mellifluous, the melodious sound of music. Maverick, a person who is independently thinking, or a person who is modest, who is adaptable, who is versatile, who is easygoing, who is rational, who is imaginative, calm, and kind. Now, the number 3 or the tier 3 vocabulary talks about subject related or theme oriented, which talks about further specifications. Words like anthropology, numismatics, philologist, they all talk about some specific subjects which may not be known to all the people. Now, how can technology play a key role in achieving vocabulary goals? The first strategy we have is e-book strategy that talks about electronic vocabulary. Now, we all have this amazing talent of going through, searching, and surfing various websites on internet, whether it be Chrome or it be any other social media site. Now, visual displays of word relationships, like developing connections between words and elaborate webs of meaning. For example, the Wordle app talks about different clouds of words. If I take the word management, and if I take all other words like revenue, supplier, marketing, and I make a complete cloud of all these words, I'll be able to find out one particular subject related to it. And that helps me in remembering more number of words. The next picture shows about the vocabulary flashcards. Now, we all have this craze of playing cards. Now, vocabulary flashcards will give you the synonyms, antonyms, hypernyms, and all those words which are related in context of one another. Moving on to the second technique, that is using of mnemonics. Now, mnemonics is something that we have been listening to from our childhood. It's an idea, pattern, or association that is used to remember something. For example, let's take the word phlegmatic. Phlegmatic basically means someone who is stolid, someone who is emotionless. You can remember this by phleg, automatic. And sanguine, which is the antonym of phlegmatic, can be related easily. Number 3, subscribing to word of the day feeds. Now, all of us do follow some website, web portal. The word of the day feeds contains new words, prefixes, suffixes, word roots. For example, the word root phobia, which means fear of something, can be used in acrophobia, fear of heights, pyrophobia, fear of fire, and so many other things. Now, the facets of right approach to an advanced vocabulary. How do I approach to my level of vocabulary? How do I improvise it? The first step, orthography. Ortho means something which is correct, and graphy means the written form. When I start writing the spelling of the word correctly, that gives me the art of orthography. Phonology talks about the sound of a word. Reference talks about the meaning of the word in context to something. Semantics, which is a subcategory of both concept as well as reference. Register, which talks about appropriacy of use or register. It talks about the characteristical feature of speech. Collocation, the neighboring lexical words. What are those two words that come together? Word associations that give us one particular phrase or one particular term for something. Syntax that talks about grammatical function, whether it's a noun, adverb, pronoun, preposition. Morphology that talks about the prefix, suffix, and the word roots. Now, I would like to conclude with some very interesting facts related to vocabulary. The infinity sign that we see in mathematics is actually a Leibniz gate. The longest word in English dictionary is of 45 letters, which is pneumono-ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. A word with two opposite meanings is contonym. Now, we all have heard about synonyms and antonyms, but very few of us really know that a word with two opposite meanings is contonym. Word like clip can be used for two different meanings. One is to attach things together, and the other is to cut something apart. Another word, dust. Dusting the strawberry means sprinkling something on those fruits. But dusting can also mean cleaning something from the table or from any other surface. Now, the first person you see after leaving the house is qualtag, which means that apart from neighbor and our family members, whoever we meet after moving from a house is called a qualtag. The only word in English that contains X, Y, and Z is hydroxyzine. Well, it's a medicine, name of a medicine, but this is one of those unique words in English which has X, Y, and Z all in a consecutive order. My last fact, the longest English word that doesn't repeat a letter. There are two words for that, uncopyrightable and dermatoglyphics. With this, I end my presentation. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Now I request judges if they have any questions to ask. Kavita ma'am and Sharda ma'am.
Well, I would just say, first of all, participant code 021, lovely presentation. I just wanted to know from you, like, what was your objective in actually doing this, taking up this topic? What do you intend to teach? Like, when we are presenting something, of course, we are keeping not the judges in mind, but the students of our age group. So what do you think your friends should have, should have learned from your presentation? So what was your objective?
Okay, so thank you for the question, ma'am. So I chose this topic because I have always seen that students juggle with this concept of vocabulary. They say that everything is okay. The grammar, the reading comprehension, everything is okay. But the only problem I have is with vocabulary. Now, there are nearly 4.5 lakh words in English dictionary. And it's not possible that we remember all the words. But they always feel that the students basically of our age group, and we even appear for the competitive examinations. So vocabulary is forming a key role in here. Like, it's a common gateway to qualify these examinations. So when it is giving us an opportunity to qualify an examination to prove our worth, then vocabulary does form a very important part. That's why I chose this topic, because I wanted that my friends should be able to, evaluate themselves, that in which place they are, how do they improvise, and they should feel that vocabulary is not something very difficult. It can also be the cup of their tea if tried in the right manner.
Okay, so just a continuation of that, what, according to you, is the right approach to develop vocabulary?
Okay, so what I basically follow is, I believe that reading, more and more reading, doesn't really matter if I pick up a dictionary and I start looking for the meaning of a word. But if I continue reading more and more, I'll be able to guess the meaning of the word, that fine, this word has been used in this context. So unlimited reading is the right way to go for vocabulary, and reading can be in different forms, can be in electronic form, can be in manual, through any book, newspaper, magazine, many other methods.
Thank you. I got my answer. Thank you.
Thank you. Now moving on to the next.
Thank you, ma'am.
Moving on to the next presentation, we have code 022. Once again, a reminder to all of you, please stick to 5 minutes. 022. The topic for the presentation is role of WhatsApp during pandemic. Code 022, please share your
Yes, ma'am.
screen.
Hello to one and all present over here. I, Priyanshu Jaina of class 11D, is going to present today a mono act on the topic role of WhatsApp during pandemic. So let's get started.
Priyanshu. Code 022.
What's up? Today I want to communicate with you, but not through you. You have been a useful tool between me, my friends, my teachers, and everyone. You are a powerful tool for learning and communicating. No, you are giving me much more prestige, which I don't deserve. Why are you saying like that? You made my life so easy during this pandemic. Without going to school, I could learn because of you. All the links of Zoom and Google Meet classes came through you only. All the important messages from principal, school, and teachers were communicated through you only. School at home was possible because of you. Of course, I am a powerful tool for learning, communication, activism, and social organizing. But people also misuse me by spreading misinformation, conspiracies, and hate. Oh no, please don't say that. I cannot guarantee the safety and protection of learners. Indeed, its end-to-end encryption function, which can attract criminals circulating materials related to abuse. Children nowadays are facing lots of high levels of violence and cyberbullying. Human Rights Watch has also raised alarm against cyberbullying, with abuses moving from classrooms to online spaces. Oh no, you don't blame yourself for this. The beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. It depends on the person who uses you positively or negatively. But for me, you are just like messenger from heaven. During this pandemic, you made my life so easy. My exams went smoothly because of you. You are a simple tool, but very effective to communicate, connect, and share learning materials. Oh, thank you very much. I'm very pleased with your kind words.
WhatsApp, you're my favorite. WhatsApp, you're my favorite. WhatsApp, you're my favorite. WhatsApp, you're my favorite.
So friends, it's in your hands to make social media a boon or a
Thank you, code 022. Now I would request Kavita ma'am to please ask some question.
Okay, Priyanshu, my question is here. Okay, in form of mono action, you wanted to show that what's the role of WhatsApp in your life. We just want to really know from you in what way WhatsApp really helped you during this pandemic.
Ma'am, as we haven't faced like this situation of pandemic in recent years, so in the year 2020, when we didn't know what is COVID-19 and what are the precautions to take, from WhatsApp, the all important messages came like what medicines should we take and what should we do. We should be in lockdown or not. and all the important messages from government also came through WhatsApp, so we could know what precautions should we take during this pandemic.
What about your school diary? I think it also worked as a school diary for you, right from the morning
Yes,
till evening.
yes, ma'am.
Without it, your lessons are totally incomplete, or your studies are totally incomplete, isn't it?
Yes,
Till today also, it's going on.
yes, ma'am. Today also.
Are you only limited to WhatsApp or only for studies and other part that medicine part of it, health part of it? Tell me the truth.
No, sometimes I could fresh my mind by chatting with my friends.
It's a great refreshment for you,
Yes,
isn't it? Okay,
yes.
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Now moving on to the next participant, we have code 023 and the topic is tech transition.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes,
Okay, ma'am.
please share your screen.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, is the screen visible?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Start, please.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone present in this meeting. I am Ridhirujra Mishra. I am a student of class 11D. I am here to share my presentation on the topic, the evolution from hello to swipe right. The telecom industry has seen a complete metamorphism during the last 2 decades and especially in the last 5 to 7 years. The age-old basic telephony has gradually been overcast by the giant leap of the data consumption in the pursuit of getting virtually unlimited contents, applications, and social media stuffs. The primitive data speed, which we were experiencing in the era of GPRS or Edge, replaced by the LTE and 4G. 5G, which is coming very soon to reign over the telecom industry, will just change the perception of human being looking into the life from the existing stereotypes to a complete new dimension. The smartphone penetration, which the world has witnessed of late, shows a tremendous possibility for the future for the human race. I, in this one-act play, have made an attempt to depict that journey from all voice to all data having a speed unprecedented. I have made a baby step towards explaining the abysmal facts, figures, and stories in regard to this huge evolution that has happened in last some centuries. I have made an attempt to capture some of the inextricably tied milestones in this journey through this video format.
Long before Graham Bell called his girlfriend by her surname Hello, major means of communication were cave paintings, smoke signals, pigeons, mechanical acoustic devices, and many more to stay in touch with people. Miss Hello, how are you doing today?
I can't hear you.
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me now?
Oh, it's you, dear. You finally cracked it.
But wait, this is not what actually happened. This is just an imaginary story that has been passed on through generations. He had actually called his assistant, Mr. Thomas Watson.
He actually did it. What am I supposed to do?
Yes.
Mr. Watson, come here. I want to see you.
When talking over the phone was very helpful and Graham Bell was really happy to be able to talk to his girlfriend every day, it was just not enough. Sometimes seeing the person face to face was much more needed. That's when video phones came into play. The first ever video call took place between Mayor of Pittsburgh, Peter Flaherty, and Alcoa CEO, John Harper.
Good morning, John. You're looking well this morning. I'm so happy and proud that you chose to join us in this revolutionary call?
Yeah, you don't look so bad either. I feel really honored to be a part of this historic call. Today, right here, we are making history.
Invented in 1921 by A.L. Gross, pager was a pioneer in mobile wireless communication. These beeping devices became widely used by the 1980s. These were, and still are, important and handy in cases of emergencies, especially in hospitals.
Hello? What's the emergency, Dr. Emily?
You need to get here as soon as possible, Dr. Jessica. We have a car accident casualty. The patient's losing a lot of blood.
Oh, okay. I'll be there in a minute. The first portable cell phone was invented in 1973 by Martin Cooper, an engineer in Motorola. Cell phones became popular during the cellular revolution that started in the 90s. In the 1990, the number of mobile users was around 11 million, and by 2020, the number had risen to 2.5 billion.
Hello, Beta. How are you? Have you had your lunch? I called you to ask what's the status about your interview?
Oh, yeah, I'm good, Mama. I just had my lunch. About the interview, it's going to be tomorrow on Skype, as the interviewer stays abroad.
Well, good luck to you, dear. Don't be nervous. Everything is going to turn out all right. God bless you.
Thank you, Mama. Love you. Bye.
You must have heard the joke made by The Onion, an American digital media company, about adding the word Skype to the dictionary in 2011. Skype became a widely used video conferencing platform as the number of registered users of Skype was about 50 million in 2005 and increased more than 600 million just 5 years later. Here's how Skype was used during the 2G 3G era.
Good morning, Miss Winkett. I got a little late due to some connectivity issues.
Well, it's very important to be punctual in job interviews. But yes, good morning to you too, Miss Mehrotra. Anyway, shall we begin?
Sure, ma'am. To begin with, my name is Maya Mehrotra. I completed my graduation from MIT and I have had 2 job experiences before this.
I can't hear you. I guess it's a bad connection. Apparently, 2G and 3G are not as promising as one would imagine.
Now, we come to the era we are presently living in. There is a lot to talk about this generation. I can go on bragging over the developments and it would never end. WhatsApp, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Tinder, and the list goes on.
Compared to the old times, now we have everything we want on our fingertips. From calling and texting your darling to delivering them gifts through online shopping, everything is just one click away. Especially during the COVID scenario, the paradigm shift into the online sphere has become the new normal.
Now that we are heading towards the reign of 5G by the end of 2022, a complete new dimension will be added to our lives technologically and socially.
Here, I conclude with the hope that I have paid justice to English language with the one at play to reminiscent the beautiful past and way towards the golden future. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I would request Sharda ma'am to please give her views. And any
that was a lovely presentation by Riddhi. Actually, I would love to see Riddhi once. Yeah, now I think her camera is on. I was not able to see her before. That was a very good effort that you had given for that one act play especially. Wonderful. I just wanted to ask one thing to you. You were talking about, you told us about the tech transition, how the present world is so, has become so tech savvy, of course. we are almost living on that virtual world. We are living our life in that virtual world. Do you see any like challenges to that? Do you think there are any negative aspects of that in the present era? In the present era.
Yes, I do think that there are a lot of negative effects. One of the major things is that we are locked in our homes, obviously, and the more we get into the virtual world, the more we are getting detached from the real world, and we are getting detached from the our loved ones. I think we are the more we are getting attached to the virtual world and the technology and internet, we are losing ourselves. So I think that's one of the biggest negative.
Absolutely. Something that was created to be in touch with our loved ones is actually now detaching us from them. But of course, the utility is, far beyond, so we have to use it anyway. Thank you. Yes. Wonderful.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Rakhi Manu.
Yes, ma'am.
The fifth one, what you have written here, that cost effectiveness. Here we don't find any clue to really judge here.
Exactly, ma'am. Even I had that query. I thought I'll ask her at the end.
Just for the sake of just for the sake of writing, it's of no use. Okay,
so they have,
shall we drop it? We can
yes,
give it
ma'am.
from 40.
Or from our point of view, like if we take English projects in for our discipline, I think we can put some other, because cost effectiveness has been put keeping you can say
the science projects.
Yeah, all the projects in mind. So so ma'am, there is no problem if both of you agree to this, that you can, instead of cost effectiveness, you can just put any other criteria for that.
Or we can calculate from 50, if it means 40 also. Percentage also matters.
Fine.
It's better.
If Shada ma'am is fine with that, there's no problem.
Yes, ma'am, we'll go with 40. That is better. The last column, we'll leave it blank.
Right.
We did it. Okay.
Because in these projects, I think there is not much of that cost effectiveness part.
It's all about internet only.
Yes.
They've collected everything from the net only.
Right.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
So shall we move on to the next, ma'am?
Okay, yes.
Right.
Let's move.
Yes.
Then we have code 024. 024, and the topic is Humility Inc. Do we have 024 with us?
Just give me a while.
Yes. Please share your screen.
Am I visible and audible?
Yes, you are.
So, warm greetings. This is Akshit. The topic, impact of technology on the society and the environment, really deserves a wider audience than it has now. Why does it lack mass attention? Honestly, who fancies an article on Science Direct or a story in Britannica? Thinking about research papers and going through the references of Wikipedia? Oh my goodness, that's the last thing one can do. But what people really like is to peel the skin off of their phone screens. Probably not like this. Yeah, this looks fine. And rub the bottoms of the mice in the leisure time. And why do they do that for? Of course, for scrolling through social media. So when we can get into the explore sections of various social media platforms, we can capture one much needed thing: people's attention. But which form would really be social media friendly? Memes. They capture a moment, a thought, or an idea in a humorous and funny visual. That's why they're enjoyable and amazingly popular. And for the very same reason, I chose memes for this exhibition too. All the memes that I will be presenting here are uploaded to my own Instagram meme page, Humility Inc. But before simply putting all the memes on the table, I'd like to quote the king of memes, Elon Musk. He said, "Who controls the memes controls the universe." But how on earth are memes so powerful? Let's take an example. Koenigsegg is a Swedish supercar company. it recently launched a concept car called Camera. However, with rising concerns about environmental impact, the car, in fact, any fossil fuel powered car will have, put together with the presence of eminent environmentalists and climate activists in their home country, the company was bound to be a little creative. So Koenigsegg came up with an engine named TFG for their supercar and made an absurd claim that it's carbon negative. Now, there is no fossil fuel powered vehicle on this earth which can have zero carbon emissions. And in this case, calling it carbon negative, that's just simply amazing. And this entire event that's occurred around this engine can be put together in a single frame, like this. Here, the environmentalists are being satirical while saying, look, it's water that's coming off of your car. Now, I believe you have an intuition about memes. So let me take you to my Instagram page.
Could you please switch on your video?
Oh, wasn't it on already?
No.
Oh, okay, ma'am. Just give me a second. Yeah, is it on now?
Right.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Yeah, so this is the first meme. And what augmented reality shows is you're fighting some villains off. But what really happens is we are hitting the person in front of us with a loaf of French bread. Now to the next one. Yeah. Honestly, when Meta would have seen a third world country like India using metaverse for a marriage reception, it must have been driven absolutely bananas. And now to the next one. And this is an overly contended NSO group having hacked into the world's safest OS, the iOS. Electric vehicles are expensive. Unfortunately, a few people who, despite having money, can never overcome conformism. They simply remain ghetto. The earth is already done with our fake promises. And finally, when we did come up with something good, it just looks at our face and goes, what? Now? And then the final one, the earth, against a perspective, isn't devastated exclusively by carbon emissions. Rather, the microbes are affected by sulfur dioxide emissions, and NOx causes smog. But again, who cares? We are capturing carbon, ain't we? And with this, we are done. Thank you very much.
I would request Kavita ma'am to ask question.
It's a very interesting topic here. It's
Thank you, ma'am.
I feel there are so many people like me also. We are not very tech savvy. What you say, that we hardly understand your language. Okay, now nowadays, yeah, this Gen X, they're enjoying this topic like anything. Most of the
Yes, ma'am.
WhatsApp goes on in this way, isn't it? Memes and all, everything goes on every day. But my purpose of saying is in what way this can be really applicable in English.
Ma'am, actually, this uses colloquial English, unfortunately, but yeah, it just conveys idea more effectively, I believe. And more people, as they're they're listening to English comedy and they're into English movies, then those web series and like OTT, some series from OTT platforms, those things. So they're pretty inclined towards English. So this language could be used, the colloquial English, could be used in memes, and that would convey our theme in a better manner.
Hope your friends can understand much better. Okay,
Yes,
thank
ma'am.
you.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to the next, we have code 025. 025.
Ma'am, am I audible and visible?
Yes, yes. Please switch on your video also.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Start.
Good morning, everyone. I am Srishan Manda from class 11J and I'm going to present on the topic vlogging. You must be thinking, what is vlogging? So let me tell you what vlogging is. Vlogging, short for video vlogging, is the daily practice of sharing vlogs characteristically, teaching a vlogger shooting themselves at arm's length throughout their everyday activities. What is vlogging and how is it shaping digital media? In 2016, there were estimated 700 million worldwide digital viewers. Now that number has grown to 2.6 billion in 2019. The United States alone is forecasted to have 248 million digital video viewers by 2022. As viewing habits skew increasingly towards online video, certain types of video content are proving to be in demand and popular with audiences. Vlogs, short for video vlogs, have become one of the most popular types of digital video content, featuring vloggers who candidly capture and share their lives. Now let us see the early history of vlogs. New York artist Nelson Sullivan was known for recording videos around New York and South Carolina in a vlog-like style back in 1980s. While there are earlier accounts, vlogs saw a pronounced increase in popularity around 2004. One of the most popular, Rocket Boom, was a daily news broadcast produced by Andrew Barron and featured breakout star Amanda Countdown as the first of a handful hosts. Now let us see what are the types of vlogging. Personal vlogs, daily vlogs, travel vlogs, informative vlogs, tech vlogs, motivational vlogs, and educational vlogs. Let's see what is the today's vlog platform. In 2005, vlogging took a leap forward with the launch of YouTube, a free searchable video hosting platform available for anyone to take advantage of. While YouTube inception represented a fundamental step in vlogging development, vlog creation at this point was largely sporadic and lower in quality, featuring few edits. To date, YouTube has served as the go-to platform for vloggers. Let us see how smartphones changed vlogging. As technology grew, vloggers like Sherry Carl took the format a step further by carrying a camera around and filming their daily experience on the go. The development helped set the stage for vlogging's next big evolution. As smartphone technology progressed, vloggers could now begin to forego video camera equipment and simply tote their smartphones to capture a greater variety of content beyond simple desktop videos and bedroom filming. What is vlogging today and top daily vloggers? Globally, 44% of all internet users watch a vlog each month. As a result, vlogging today is a big business, with digital video advertising budgets set to grow at a faster pace than their TV counterpart. Advertising partnerships with popular vloggers represent an attractive option for marketers desiring to reach a young, affluent, and digital-savvy audience. Top daily vloggers like Logan Paul, Roman Atwood, Funfo Louis, or Casey Neistat collaborate with influencer marketing companies on household name, brand, sponsorship, while others are managed by YouTube multi-channel networks and even Hollywood talent agency. So let me tell you about Casey Neistat. Who is Casey Neistat? Casey Owen Neistat is a YouTube personality, filmmaker, vlogger. He's one of the first person to start vlogging and then daily vlogging. He's one of the most successful filmmaker who got their start on YouTube. Getting inspired by him, there is an Indian vlogger, Nikhil Sharma, aka Mumbaikar Nikhil, who started daily vlogging. He's the first person in India to start daily vlogging. Mumbaikar Nikhil is a top Indian lifestyle vlogger, motor vlogger, model, and YouTuber. Getting inspired by him, I started my vlogging channel in 2018, and during the pandemic time, I have tried to be better at my skills in vlogging and videography. So at last, I want to show you a small clip of my vlog. So here it goes. In conclusion, all of this impacts how humans act today. Without technological advancements, our way of life would not be as complex. I would like to conclude my presentation by saying that technology influences shape the way humans act today. Thank you.
Thank you, code 025. I would request Sharada ma'am to ask some questions to him.
Well, that was very interesting, Srishant. Actually, I have a similar question that ma'am has had asked in the previous. Srishant, how do you think the language English is going to help you in this vlogging, or is contributing anything, or the vlogging is contributing anything to the language English?
Ma'am, I share my experience as I speak in front of my camera. So when I conversation in front of my camera, I speak very much. So I speak in English and in other languages. So my speaking ability is improved, and my friends watch them. So I try to tell them to vlog with me, so they can help with me, so they can conversation with me. So that's the thing. Over.
Okay, absolutely, Srishant. Actually, if you use English more, your blogs would be more, would be watched by people across the world. If you stick to our local language, it would be only limited to the people of those who know the local language. But if you speak in English, if you use English for your blogs, it would be widely, watched. That would be a benefit, of course. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, moving on to code 026. 026.
Yes,
and the
ma'am.
topic is significance of technology in literary works. Please share your screen. Yeah.
As George Lucas rightly said, and I quote, digital technology allows us a much larger scope to tell stories that were pretty much the grounds of the literary media. Innovators, leaders and aspirers of the day. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Shreya Mohanty, a student of Standard 9A, and I'm here to present my display on my chosen topic, significance of technology in literary works. When we say about the relationship between technology and literature, what actually connects the poets and the authors to reach to such an enormous audience from worldwide? It's actually technology. The term technology puts forward an oversimplified relationship between the literary works and the metaphysical world of circumscribing them. Every creature on this planet Earth can feel the rhythm of emotions, intensity, and passion conveyed by different elements of technology. That's exactly how the different eminent poets and authors make us feel, imagine, and perceive their words, even by sitting at their homes through the invincible magic of technology. Here come some of the famous quotes on technology by remarkably exuberant personalities. For example, by George Corres, technology will not replace great teachers, but technology in the hands of great teachers can be transformational. By John Dewey, if we teach today's students as we taught yesterday's, we rob them of tomorrow. By Buckminster Fuller, you never change things, by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the old model obsolete. By Stephen Vincent Bennett, technology will never rescue anyone from being a bad poet. But if you're a good one, it has the potential to do exciting things. By A.T. Rubin, in protecting the future, I think the Apple did a good job of figuring out when the technology was ready to be consumer grade. Now here the question arises, how does technology impact on the literary works? Technology has always changed the way we perceive, interpret, or even write. By creating the ability for everyone to read, write, and speak, we can therefore say that the technology has a very strong impact on the youths of today in improvising themselves into native English speakers, be it the poets, authors, or the publishers. They come to know about the views of their audience or the viewers or the readers through technology. This adds on to the interest of the readers and connects them even more to their poets, favorite poets or authors, and as well as improvises the marketing. It's quite general that typing directly to a word processor is obviously faster than using a typewriter or pen and paper. The technology has enabled the writers to publish their work quite faster and share it with the readers all across the globe. This ability to write and publish many volumes has also raised the quality issues. It's rightly said that technology is still a magic, even if we know how it's done. Technology can help students to discuss their ideas by bringing the readers and the writers together in the same classroom. And it can even help the students to work together at different projects of different times through Google Documents and even blogging. Another important feature of technology is that it allows students to remix various medias. The way the stories are reported nowadays are quite different from what they used to be due to the invention of new technologies. It has shortened the time limits between the countries and minimized the effort that was made earlier to spread a story worldwide. This technology has changed the format of the story and what's written in it. Now, again, a question arises that how does the technology influence on the modern English language? The influence of technology and internet on the modern English language is clearly seen and touched in various ways and means. Firstly, it adds lots of jargon vocabulary. Second, it provides meanings to the existing words, terms, as well as the antonyms, synonyms, pronunciation, spellings, and many more. We, the 21st century readers, we grew up using technology as a primary learning tool. We are capable of navigating and interpreting the digital formats and media messages. We possess the literacy skills, which include technological abilities such as keyboarding, internet navigation, interpretation of technological speak, ability to communicate and interpret coded language, and the decipher graphics. With this, now I end my presentation. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Code 026. I would request Kabita ma'am to please ask question to her.
It's really a beautiful, it's a beautiful presentation. As you say, technology will not replace great teachers, but technology in the hands of great teachers can be transformational. No doubt, your teachers have already become techno-savvy today to try the level best how to reach you at right time, at right place. But My question is, as a student of senior secondary school, would you like to throw light upon the use of technology in literature, especially? In what way you can use it for further development?
Ma'am, I introduced this project to emphasize on technology, how it's used in literature to fascinate more students towards skillful and creative learning of literature, be it novels by great authors or poets. For example, the COVID times, we couldn't reach to the libraries, but the libraries could reach us through the screen. We could get hundreds of books through Google. So that's how we can relate to technology to literature. And of course, at the end of the day, it gives the poets and the authors a lot of more ideas on what their readers want to know from them. So that's how, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Your e-library has really helped you a lot, isn't it? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, next we have code 027. 027.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Please start. You can share your screen.
Ma'am, am I visible?
Yes, you are visible, but your screen is not yet visible.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, is the screen visible now?
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone present over here. I'm Anushka Parida of class 9A, showcasing before you the life and charitable works of the woman of munificence, Mother Teresa, with an essence of technology. Mother Teresa was born on August 26, 1910 in Yugoslavia, now Republic of Macedonia. Her father, Nicola, was a successful businessman and her mother, Tranafile, was a housewife. She went to the convent-run primary school and then to a state-run secondary school. She felt the calling to religious life at the age of 12, and 6 years later, at the age of 18, in 1928, she decided to become a nun and set off for Ireland to the Sisters of Loreto in Dublin. In 1905, Teresa established the Missionaries of Charity, a Roman Catholic congregation that had over 4,500 nuns and was active in 133 countries. She converted an abandoned Hindu temple into the Kali Ghat Home for Dying and later renamed it as the Home of Pure Heart, Nirmal Hriday. Those who were brought to the home received medical attention and got an opportunity to die with dignity and peace in accordance with their faith. She established a leper colony in 1960s in the and named it as the Santinagar, the city of peace. The Missionaries of Charity established leprosy outreach clinics throughout Calcutta, providing dressing and food to the leprosy patients who were earlier not provided with the same. In 1995, Teresa opened Nirmal Shishu Bhavan, the Children's Home of Immaculate Heart, as a heaven for the orphans and homeless youth. Here, they received education, love, and care from the nuns. So these were some of her works of charity. So let's now see how technology has influenced charity. So the organizations of Mother Teresa have their websites with detailed information about the location, and they provide the services provided by them. It even has the options for the people to give their reviews. Earlier, the nuns were moved from one place to another to find the needy people who actually need their help. But nowadays, with the help of technology, they are able to connect to the needy and with their relatives. We can also get the helpline numbers from these websites which help us in contacting the authorities. So here I have prepared a model on the charity homes of Mother Teresa. This is the Nirmal Shishu Bhavan, and this is the Shantinagar leper colony. The nuns here worked day and night to provide services to the helpless elderly people and diseased individuals and the needy children. They provide modern healthcare facilities and use technology like televisions and smart boards to teach the children, which was earlier not possible due to lack of technology. So let's continue with the presentation.
Thank you. Code 027.
Ma'am?
Okay, you will continue?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Mother Teresa is known for her benignity all over the world. She received many honors and awards for this, for her works of charity. These books of Mother Teresa unfold the life and services of Saint Teresa, who is an icon of compassion to the people around the world. These are some motivational quotes of Mother Teresa which can change the person's attitude towards life. She died on 5th September 1997 in Calcutta. Role of technology in making of the project. My sources of information includes websites related to Mother Teresa. I communicated through WhatsApp with my friends and teachers to get the data. I collected photographs and information from social media pages of Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter on Mother Teresa. I collected a lot of information about Mother Teresa over phone from the people associated with the missionaries of charity organization. To relate this with the language of English, here is a descriptive para on Mother Teresa, which I developed with the help of the information I collected from different sources. So the purpose of the project is to make people aware about the life of Mother Teresa and the services provided by her to the mankind and the great impact of technology on the missionaries of charity. Thank you. And thank you for your patience here.
Thank you, code 027. Now I would request Sharda ma'am to please ask her question.
Well, Anushka, I must say that as and when I was getting a question in my mind to ask you, the moment I thought of a question, you already gave the answer in the presentation. So I have already got the answer at the end, but just that at the end, you have already connected it to the language. You have also said that your purpose to choose this was to make us aware about Mother Teresa through English language. Absolutely right. I just wanted to know, why were you so inspired about, why did you choose Mother Teresa? Like, is it like anything personal, or just like you have some affiliation towards charity or anything, any story behind that?
Ma'am, actually, ma'am, our sir gave us a descriptive para, to write a descriptive para on Mother Teresa. While searching for the things I came to know about her charity, her works of charity, which helped a lot, many people. And she also helped many leprosy patients, and so from there I got inspired and I thought.
Very good. Absolutely. I hope sir's objective was solved here. That is the objective of learning any language. It helps us to explore so many things, and we get inspired and fascinated by things. Good. Very nice.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, 027. Next, we have code 028.
Yes, ma'am.
With the topic English language learning and technology. Code 028, please share your screen.
Ma'am, is it visible?
Yes.
Good afternoon, one and all present over here. This is Parvisha Duggar, student of class 9, section C, and today I am here to share my point of view on importance of language learning through technology. It's hard to imagine life without technology. Cell phones, computers, television, washing machines, cars, and the internet. They are just a part of life. The effect they had on our society are impossible to ignore. Now, why I chose this topic. For knowing this, we need to know what is technology. Any device or object that is an application of the scientific knowledge about the world that helps us complete a task or solve a problem is technology. It doesn't have to be complicated. A shiny piece of metal becomes technology when we use it as a mirror. Aim. In the beginning of the third millennium, a new form of learning called e-learning is introduced. It decreases the educational cost and is more effective learning than traditional learning. Globally, it allows the fast dissemination of new technical and process cancelling geographical challenges. In addition, time efficiency plays a role. As travel is reduced, users can conveniently access training materials from home or while on the road via the internet. Coming to the area of research, indeed, the rapid use of technology or e-learning system have been reported by several studies. In USA, it has been more widely spread than in the rest of the world. And in Europe, e-learning has tended to be focused in some countries such as UK, France, and Germany. Like by staying in India, we don't have to travel to further other countries to learn the languages. We can learn it from by staying here itself. There are several apps like Byju's, Topper, Brainly, Vedantu, White Hat Junior, and many more for primary and secondary education. These apps were primarily made for the purpose of supporting the school-related education for students. These contain the e-learning content as per the school syllabus of the students ranging from pre-nursery till class 12. During the pandemic, most of the students started using online platforms for their tuition or coaching needs. Also, these platforms have introduced several features that attract more students. For the kids, Byju had partnered with Disney to create animated content based on the favorite cartoon characters. This attracts the kids towards learning with fun. Similarly, they have also started giving the students tablets with digital book and learning content to promote e-learning through technology. There are also several apps like Unacademy, Upgrad, Coursera for professional and higher education. The college students are extensively using these professional e-learning apps for improving their knowledge and skill set. These give them upper hand in their career. Also, many professionals use these platforms to improve their skills. These platforms have enabled to learn flexibly as per their free time, saving them a lot of traveling time as well. Google Classroom. This is very beneficial for students in school and colleges. We can use Classroom in our school to streamline assignments, boost collaboration, and foster communication. Classroom is available on the web or by mobile app. We can use Classroom with many different tools that we already use, such as Gmail, Google Docs, and Google Calendar. Teachers use this to start a video meeting, add materials to our assignments, such as YouTube videos, a Google Form survey, and other items from Google Drive. Students use to track classworks and submit assignments, share sources, and interact in the classroom or by Gmail. Guardians use it to get an email summary of their child work and review announcements and activities. And administrators use it to protect data and set permission for their users, set up classes, and host and get 24/7. Coming to the video conferencing apps like Google Meet, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and many more. During this pandemic, these are the most widely used apps. There are certain benefits of it, like it improves communication, it saves money and time, it streamlines collaboration like screen sharing and real-time document editing. It also increases productivity and makes scheduling meeting easier. And lastly, coming to the language learning apps like Cake, Duolingo, Speakly, etc. Various learning apps like promote learning and enhances our language skills, which is much needed for schools and professionals alike. It provides a new step toward learning new languages from the comfort of our homes. We don't have to travel to other countries to learn certain languages. Most importantly, they are affordable and can be learned anywhere and at any time. Thus, technology is an effective tool that can make education and learning more meaningful and engaging for humans. At last, I want to thank the school for giving us this opportunity. Through this, I got to explore a new topic which enhanced my creativity. It helped me to go out of the box and learn something new. Presenting this PPT also helped me with my public speaking skills. With this, I conclude. Thank you.
Thank you, code 028. Now I would request Kavita ma'am to ask some question.
Okay. Palvisha,
yes,
beautiful name. Okay. So you talked about language learning through technology here. You said about a lot of sites which are helpful for e-learning at home, especially during pandemic. So can you really think of it in what way in offline classes your language learning can be possible through technology?
Ma'am, in offline classes, ma'am, in school, we are assigned with many works. So, ma'am, if we have any doubt, we can take the help of these certain apps to get the answer or to refer the answer.
Will you go for mobiles in the classroom?
No, ma'am.
Then in what way you can really be, it can really help you? I mean, technology can really help you.
Ma'am, in schools, ma'am, teachers use this to show us some related videos that we study in our class. And ma'am, to show some questions or extra question related to that chapter.
That means you want to say about the wide use of smartphones.
Yes, ma'am.
Especially smartphones. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have code 029 and the topic is animation industry.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, good afternoon, one and all present over here. Today, I, Vivananda of class 9D, will be throwing some light on my topic, animation industry and technology. So starting off with, what is animation? Animation is a method in which figures are manipulated to appear as moving images. An animated cartoon is an animated film, usually a short film aimed at children. In addition to the short films, animation is mostly used in video games and used interfaces. So next is a short video clip of anime which shows the beauty of animation.
Excuse me, please turn on your video.
Okay, ma'am. Is it visible?
No, your video is not yet. Yes. But we can see only, yeah, better. Yes. Continue.
Okay. Okay.
029 sound. Is there any problem in audio?
Yes, ma'am, there is a problem. I'm checking it. Ma'am, is it now audible?
Yes.
So starting off with Japanese animation industry. Anime is a hand-drawn and computer animation originating from Japan. In Japan and in Japanese, anime describes all animated work regardless of style or origin. It is a diverse medium with distinctive production methods. The anime industry consists of over 430 more companies, including Studio Ghibli and Toei Animation. So what is the history of Japanese animation? Emakimono and Kage are considered precursors of Japanese animation. Kage was popular during the Edo period and originated from the shadow plays of China. Animation in Japan began in the early 20th century when filmmakers started to experiment with the technique pioneered France, Germany, the United States, and Russia. In 1960s, manga artist and animator Osamu Tezuka adapted and simplified Disney animation techniques. So what are the techniques used in Japanese animation? Anime emphasizes the art quality and let limited animation techniques make up for the lack of time spent on movement. Such techniques are often used not only to meet deadlines, but also as artistic devices. The backgrounds are not always invented and occasionally based on real locations. The cinematic effects of anime differentiate itself from the stage play found in American animation. So, what is the role of technology in Japanese animation? Modern anime follows a typical animation production process involving storyboarding, voice acting, character design, and self-production. Early anime works were experimental and consisted of image drawings on blackboard, stop-motion animation of paper cutouts, and still-out animation. Augmented reality is also used. It is an interactive experience of real-world environment where the objects that reside inside the real world are enhanced by computer-generated images. Anime uses a classical animation production, means of storyboarding, character design, and voice acting. So, what are the positive impact of Japanese animation? First, it relieves psychological pressure. One of the most renowned positive effects that anime has on teenagers is that it helps relieve psychological pressure. We live in a fast-paced society and it only gets faster. There are different types of pressures that the young people of the generations are now subject. Secondly, it also helps to develop a strong will. These anime can also develop a strong will in younger people, especially those who are not scared of experiencing setbacks. It also emphasizes communication and cooperation. The awareness that many young people spend their time watching anime has made this creator emphasize communication and cooperation. So, what are the negative impacts of Japanese animation? Due to its very good animation works, there is a lot of overindulgence. The fact that these anime are created with beautiful written stories and rich content has made them appealing to young people. Secondly, there are bad behaviors. So many anime characters have bad behaviors. Sadly, many of these teenagers do not have the cognitive ability to judge right and will end up imitating these characters. There is another thing as individual heroism. The problem with that is that it can create a mindset of individualism in these young ones. When these younger generations get affected it, they will neglect teamwork. So the next is American animation industry. The golden age of American animation was a period in the history of US where animation that began with the popularization of sound animated shows in 1928 and gradually ended in the late 1960s. So what is the technology used in American animation industry? Modern computer animation usually uses 3D computer graphics to generate a three-dimensional picture. Although 2D computer graphics are still used for stylistic low bandwidth and faster real-time renderings. Computer animation also made inroads into television. Computer-generated imagery is also used in this. It is the application of computer graphics to create or contribute images in art printed media. So what is the positive impact of animated shows? It helps in cognitive development. By watching these animated shows can help your child's cognitive skill. It can help develop logic and reasoning ability. It also helps in language development. Animated shows can expose your children to different languages, thus helping in children develop their linguistic abilities. Allowing them to watch animated shows in a native tongue, for example, can help them learn this language better. By watching different animated shows, kids can also improve their pronunciation and the manner of talking. It also enhances creativity. Like different artworks have different things, so it also has a lot of things to learn. So, what are the negative impacts of animated shows? The first, it encourages violence. Watching animated shows with depict violence can encourage children to become more violent in real life. It also promotes unruly behavior and lack of empathy. It also encourages unsocial behavior. There are several animated shows which encourage antisocial behavior and give wrong message to children. It also, due to overindulgence, may lead to health problems due to sedentary lifestyle. So, what is Japanese animation and American animation we learn? So, what are the differences between them? Japanese animation studios produce content faster than American animation studios. The biggest reason for this is their budget, how detailed the work is, and how hard the studio pushes themselves. On an average, 30 minutes of Japanese animation takes about 1 to 3 months to produce, while 30 minutes of American animation takes 6 to 9 months to produce. Some of the biggest structural differences between the Japanese and the American animation is how they blur the line between good and evil. So, what is the impact of technology in animation? For many years, use and growth of technology has facilitated anime shows development. The first animations were more of a manual effort. The pictures and scenes were hand-drawn and animated by hand. Animators started seeing the need for computer-aided technologies, and that was when the animation industry started taking a new shape. So there are 3 new features of impact of technology. It also developed augmented reality, that is known as AR. There were a lot of after effects used in that, and live character animations became popular. These are some key technologies that change how animations are made. So what is the importance of animation in English language? Animation is important because it makes us be able to communicate stories and communicate emotions and ideas in a unique, easy to perceive way that both small children and adults can understand. It has helped connect people throughout the world in a way sometimes film and live action films cannot. So, what I felt, I would like to thank my school for this opportunity. I felt that this project has helped me to do a lot of research by which I got to know a lot of things. It improved my time management skills. It also helped me to learn about different things about many cultures of the world. So with this, I would like to end it. Thank you for your patient hearing.
Thank you, 029. I would again remind all the participants to please take care of the time. It's time allotted to you is just 5 minutes. Try to stick to that. We have now I request Madam Sharada to please ask question to code 029.
Yes, Vivan, it was a lovely presentation. I think you have, do you have any plans in future to go for animation course? That's why you took up this?
Yes, ma'am. I have a lot of interest in doing the character works and doing the scenes of different characters. Currently, I'm at the grassroots level and drawing the characters' faces in my drawing puppet.
Well, in that case, I really don't have any question. Just one request. Once you learn to create these animated things, videos, try to create some for us also for the English, the lessons
sure, ma'am.
that
I
you
will
have.
create a lovely presentation for the whole.
It will be helpful for the students, like the stories that you read. If you can have a animated, representation of the story, at least the plot, the storyline, that would be very interesting.
I understand. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to next, we have 030, code 030.
Yes, ma'am.
Code 030, our presentation we will be sharing. She's sharing, I think, sir. She's sharing. Yes. 030, I think you are able to share the screen.
Yes, ma'am. I
Right.
was able to share it at the end of the moment.
Okay.
Good afternoon, respected teachers and my dear friends. This is Romani Tripathi from 9E going to give a presentation on the topic History of English Literature.
Kindly turn on your video, 030.
Yes, ma'am. Am I visible?
Yes.
Now, let us all know about how it all started. The history of English literature has gone through many periods and changes, but there are 8 most important periods: Old English literature, Medieval English, Elizabethan age or Golden Age, Restoration Age, the 18th century, the Romantic period, 20th century, and the modern era. Now let us know something about Old English. The history of English literature begins with the Germanic tradition of Anglo-Saxon settlers. It lasted from the period of 1066 to 14,050. One of the earliest and most popular work in Old English literature is Beowulf. Now, let's talk about Medieval English. This era is also referred to as the later Middle English literary period. It comprises of a diverse range of works. Geoffrey Chaucer is amongst the highly regarded poets within this period. Now we come to Golden Age, the Elizabethan Age, or also known as Golden Age of England. It was a long period of peace and prosperity. The arts flourished, and much of English society participated in the general economic well-being. Sir Thomas Watt and Henry Howard had a massive contribution to this age. Let's talk about Restoration Age. Another revolutionary change in the history of English literature was brought by Restoration Age. Written during the historical period commonly referred to as the English Restoration from 1660 to 1689. Now, let's talk about 18th century. Concluding the Restoration period of the history of English literature, the 18th century witnessed the publication of political literature as well as advent of novels. Robert Harley, Daniel Defoe, and Jonathan Swift were amongst the major political writers of this era. Let's talk about Romantic period. The Romantic age of the history of English literature experimented with their earlier forms of poetry and brought many interesting genres of prose fiction. The key feature of poetry of this period was the emphasis laid on individual thought and personal feeling. Now comes the 20th century. After the end of Victorian age, the modern history of English literature begins. Rudyard Kipling is considered as one of the greatest writers in this century. The main works include Kim's Life Handicap, apart from the significant book, The Jungle Book. Now comes the modern era. Modern era is somewhat a site of technology and literature. The emergence of multimedia technology played a crucial role in development of literature in this era. Innovation of printed book itself is a good example. Innovation of printed press and its technique pushed down the cost and turned out to be a great financial help. The emergence of electronic books, also known as e-books, made literature easily accessible and portable. Thus, we can conclude that simple technologies like this have made us appreciate the beauty of literature and discover them by just a click of a mouse.
Thank you.
Now, let us know some more about printed books. Story of printed books starts with the development of writing and various other inventions such as paper and printing. Printed books with attractive visuals, shapes, and pictures helped a lot in getting the attention of younger generation. For example, Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling selling over 107 million copies worldwide. Let's talk about ebooks. Ebooks, also known as electronic books, have proven to be a great site of technology and literature. These books help in marketing and better availability of printed copies. Being portable and easily accessible is one of its biggest advantages. The Art of Saying No, the Gita, 50 Greatest Short Stories, Harry Potter. These are the names of some of the best-selling ebooks worldwide. Now let's talk about animations or movies. Animation and movies are the two most important aspects that can make any concept come into real life. It can give the concept the right ideas and strike the right tone and help in visualizing abstract ideas. William Shakespeare, an English poet and actor, is widely regarded as the greatest writer and the world's greatest dramatist. Hamlet, Romeo and Juliet, Othello King, Lear, and Macbeth are considered to be amongst the finest works in the English language. With this, I would like to end my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, code 030. I would request Kavita ma'am to please ask question to her.
Okay, a beautiful presentation indeed, and you refreshed our mind going back to the history of English literature, which
Thank
we
you,
have
ma'am.
read it much earlier. Okay, so I just want to tell you, ask you, you talked about all different type of ages there, and gave a brief description about all those things. Can you just tell me, when you talk about history of English literature, can you just tell me here, there's a beautiful poetry of a romantic poet in your course.
Yes, ma'am.
What is it? A beautiful romantic poetry of your it's there in your course. Can you
Ma'am,
please?
it's
A beautiful poem related to beauty only.
She is in class 9.
Okay, sorry. Okay, it's all right. So, she's in class 9 here. It's a good presentation here. I just want to know about it here. In which way ebooks can be really helpful to go back to the history of English literature.
Ma'am, ebooks help in better availability of all the books which are present. Like some people cannot buy books like everywhere, and some books aren't even available in the markets or the stores we see. So in that case, ebooks help us a lot, and all the animation and all the technologies they help in. They make us more interested in literature and help us read, like help us know the history of English literature.
Okay, you are at the beginning stage of literature. So I expect students like you people will take the best opportunity of ebooks available. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Very rightly mentioned, ma'am. Next, we move on to this 031, code
Yes, ma'am.
031. Ready?
Yes, ma'am.
I would, before you start, I would like to remind all the remaining participants to please keep a note of the time. I think once you start, it happens that you forget the time allotted to you. So please try to remain within the time allotted to you. Thank you. Continue.
Ma'am, is the screen visible?
Yes.
Good afternoon, one and all present over here. This is Shashwat Panda from class 9E, and today I'm going to shed some light on the topic Influence of Technology on English. Introduction. English did not exist as a language for thousands of years, unlike the Greek, Roman, and Sanskrit languages. Instead, as per historical records, it is clear that English started only during the 5th century AD, when the Anglo-Saxons invaded Great Britain and made it the most dominant language there. For much of its history, English was confined to Europe, but the colonial expansion made it the most dominant language across the world, especially in the Americas and Australia. With the beginning of the internet era, English started to go through many changes. E-learning of English. There are many English learning apps and channels on the web for the non-native speakers. For example, Duolingo, Hello English, BBC Learning English are some of the most renowned English learning apps and channels. Videos on YouTube and other websites by content creators also helps us to master basic English. With Google Meet, Zoom, Microsoft, and other websites, many teachers from across the world can connect with their students and teach them English. Influence of social media. Social media has had a huge influence on every aspect of our life, including spoken English. Teenagers often use abbreviations such as OMG for oh my god, IDK for I don't know, etc. on social media such as WhatsApp, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, YouTube, etc. Nowadays, they have become so accommodated with these abbreviations that they have started using them in offline conversations also. Writers and poets. In earlier days, writers used to write stories on paper by hand and sold them to nearby cities. The profit to writers from these stories was minimum, as only a handful of people bought their stories. But now nearly all stories are written on a device such as a computer and are printed on paper by printers and sold on the web or bookstores across the globe. This has led to the boom of literature industry as writers and poets have become richer. It is so as millions upon millions of people buy their stories, hence the profit is maximum. Ebooks. Since many modern writers use technology for writing and publishing their stories, they also use technology for selling their stories as it is cheap and convenient. They send the story to an ebook from which an online reader can easily access it. Kindle is one of the most popular ebooks. Ebooks such as Kindle are popular because they use e-ink, which does not strain the eyes. Also, ebooks are convenient to carry. Influence of English on technology. Not only does technology influence English, it is also the other way around. Many technologies exist only due to English. If, for example, if there were no languages, there would have been no printers because printers were developed to print text. Coding uses English and maths for operations. Coding is the basis of all computer programs, and without computers, technology cannot sustain itself. Conclusion. From this presentation, it is clear that modern technology was made possible by English. In turn, modern English was enhanced by technology. So I would like to sum up by saying that technology is the daughter of traditional English and the mother of modern English. Thanks all. Have a wonderful and bright day ahead.
Thank you. Code 031. I would invite Sharada ma'am to please give her some questions. You can ask some questions to him.
Lovely presentation, Sashwat. I just have one thing to ask you. You mentioned ebooks, Kindle.
Yes,
so personally, do you like to read something if it is available in hard copy? Do you like to read it in hard copy or the soft copy is okay? Like in the beginning of the session 2020-21, the books were not available, so we were going with the online version of the books. We were showing you the soft copies. We used to send the soft copies to the students. So did you enjoy reading the soft copy, or do you think you would relate more with the hard copy? What is your preference? Personally, there is no right or wrong answer to this. Just personally, what is your preference?
Ma'am, I like soft copies because they are easily carried. They can easily be carried. Also, they weigh less, so it's easy to carry them on hand.
Okay. So you
and the text is also more clearly visible.
Okay. Good. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Next we have 032. Code 032. Are you ready with your presentation?
Yes, ma'am, I'm ready.
If yes, please share your screen.
Ma'am, is it visible?
Yes. Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Mahik Kejriwal, the student of 9E. Today, I'm here to throw some light on the code. It's not that we use technology, we live with technology. By my chosen topic, living with technology. So let's first know about technology. The word technology and its uses have changed since the 20th century, and with time, it has continued to evolve ever since. We are living in a world driven by technology. The advancement of technology has played an important role in the development of human civilization along with cultural changes. Technology provides innovative ways of doing work through various modern innovative means, and it also have added the comfort in our lives. Let's have an insight into how technology has impacted learning of English language and other fields of human lives. Virtual reality or VR. One of the definitions of virtual reality refers to a simulated experience that can be similar or completely different from the real world. Virtual reality can improve education by providing students with memorable and immersive experiences that would otherwise not be possible. Students can practice on a level that's just not possible online or in the classroom. VR helps to address two primary problems in language learning. It
Excuse me.
motivates the older.
Sorry for
Yes,
the
ma'am.
interruption. 0 through 2, I think you have not gone for the options slide share.
No, ma'am, I have gone.
We are not able to see, we are able to see only the first slide, living with technology.
From now it is visible?
Yes. Carry on.
Yes, ma'am. Artificial intelligence or AI. It has the potential to make digital language learning truly personalized to each learner. It reduces the time, cost, and frustration involved in completing online or app-based courses. The strength of AI is creating a personalized learning experience that allows the student to work on their personal areas of weakness and benefit from tailored feedback rather than following the usual one-size-fits-all model of learning. The feature of AI is about saving both learner and teachers time to focus on the developing skills. So now let's have a look on the impacts of technology in other fields. Education. Technology is making the education industry improve over time. With technology, students and parents have various learning tools on their fingertips. Teachers can coordinate with classrooms all across the world and share their ideas and resources through online. Education has changed dramatically with the rise of e-learning, where thereby teaching is undertaken remotely and on digital platforms. Now, online teaching and examinations have become a new normal. E-shopping and transactions. Online shopping and online transaction area form of electronic commerce which allows the users and consumers to directly buy and sell goods and make transactions over the internet using a web browsing or mobile apps. It has made possible to receive the purchase items at our doorsteps and transfer the payments with a single tap. This has brought about a great ease in connecting with people all around the globe and thereby increasing in business. Medical. Technological advancement in the healthcare industry have not only improved our personal quality of life and longevity, they have also improved the lives of medical professionals and the students who are training to become medical experts. It has allowed much faster access to the medical records of each patient. The internet has drastically transformed patients and doctors' relationships. Modern technology has allowed us to contact doctors from the comfort of our homes. There are many sites and apps through which we can contact doctors and get medical help. Communication. Communication is the exchange of informations or feelings or ideas, which allow the majority of people to get the news of all the sites. Communication technologies have made it simple to communicate to friends in the other side of the world by calling them, by using mobile phones or emailing them, and writing in our web pages using social networks like Facebook, Twitter, or Messenger. So now I would like to conclude my presentation by saying that we see that our lives are so much into technology that we often confuse if technology has become our lives or our lives have become technical. From the field of education, communication to health and trade, everything is becoming more digital day by day. At this stage, we know that there is no turning back as we keep stepping into every tomorrow, which introduces a new kind of tech in one field or the other. Therefore, it's completely right for us to say that we have started living with technology. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Okay. Thank you, code 032. Now we have, I would request Kavita ma'am to ask questions.
Living with technology. Okay. Somewhere you have said that either you have lived with the technology or technology is living with you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
May I see your, where is she? Mahi?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you have done a lot of research work here. Let me ask you a very simple question here. That during the pandemic, you have used the maximum use of technology, whatever is possible, to make your notes, to go for online teaching, online exams also, browsed lot many websites to go for that. My question is, in this way, are we not losing our originality?
Yes, actually, ma'am, like just because of pandemic, ma'am, we are now used to the technology, ma'am. But we all students now want that offline classes, that we want that our teachers are just teaching us in the classrooms, ma'am. We all want that.
Okay, my purpose of saying is that we are getting all the things from the technology, from a different sources here. So uh, can we really get original writers in future days? What is your feeling about it?
Ma'am,
Hmm?
I guess.
Come on, are you a writer? No.
No, ma'am.
Hmm? Okay.
No, I'm not right.
In exams, certainly you are going to write original things, something
Yes.
which you produce yourself. Won't it be a difficult task for you all?
Yes, ma'am, it will be difficult.
Okay, so my purpose of saying is, no doubt we are living with technology, but don't be totally dependent on technology. Time has come for everything offline. Okay, take care of
Yes.
that fact also. Thank you,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, code 032, and madam also thank you very much for asking the question, such a relevant question. Next we have code 033 with the topic communication over the ages.
According to Peter Thiel, the author of Zero to One, in a world of scarce resources, globalization without new technology is unsustainable. Most of the people will be defined by globalization, but the truth is that technology matters more. Good afternoon, one and all present over here. This is Aman Saab from class 9 section E, going to present a PowerPoint presentation on my topic communication over ages. Present cannot stand without past, as present is the foundation of past. Communication. Communication is the act of sharing or exchanging information, ideas, or feelings. Kaleidoscopic view. Let's take a journey from the past to the present. Carrier pigeon. It is the use of the homing pigeons to carry messages. Pigeons were effective messengers due as to their natural homing abilities. But the disadvantages of the carrier pigeon is that they could get lost and the letter could get wet in the rain, and it is also time consuming. Diary entry. Diary entry is very popular, especially among the teenage boys and girls, as they want to keep a diary because it is adorable. The disadvantages is it can be very difficult habit to get into. Letter. Mail or post is a system for transporting letters and other tangible objects. Written documents typically enclosed in the envelopes, and also small packets are also delivered to the destination around the world. People are awaited for the letter. When the postman's wala says, Dakia wala dak laya, Dakia wala dak laya. Famous publishers of letters like Jawaharlal Nehru to his daughter Indira Gandhi are some of the examples of the popular letter. Beginning of the era of technology. Electrical telegraph. Telegraph that uses electrical signals, usually conveyed via telecommunication lines on radio. Later, electrical telegraph network permitted people and commerce to almost instantly transmit messages across both the continents and oceans. Telephone. The telephone is referred to a phone, is a telecommunication device that transmits and serves the sound, usually the human voice. Hello, hello, your message will go to the receiver, and you will be assured that the receiver has got the message. Developed in the mid 1870s by the Alexander Graham Bell, the telephone long has been considered indispensable to business, household, and now one of the most common appliances in the developed world. Email. E-book is the another technology and email is the revolution. Electrical mail, also known as email, is the method of exchanging digital messages from one author to one or more recipients. Fax. Fax, sometimes called telecopying or telefax, is the telephonic transmission of scanned printed material, normally to a telephone number connected to a printer or any other output device. Computer network and internet. The internet is the global system of the interconnected computer network that use the standard internet protocol suite to serve billions of users worldwide. The internet carrier an extensive range of the information resources and services such as interlinked hypertext documents of the World Wide Web, WWW, and the infrastructure to support the email. Social networking. A social networking service is an online service platform or site that focuses on facilitating the building of these social networks or social relationships among the people who share interests, activities, background, or real-life connection. Most social network services are web-based and provide means for the user to interact over the internet, such as email and I. For example, Facebook has over 800 million users, Twitter and Google also. Zoom and Google Meet. Even now, we are conducting this exhibition in this platform with the advancement of the technology. So it is born in the pandemic situation and it is a tremendous revolution in the present situation. Conclusion. The business world has developed. Companies can now communicate faster, more effectively, and therefore turns more profit. The communication revolution has brought around many positive effects. One example is easing the political tension around the world. Important political figures can now resolve their differences or make important decisions without having to travel hundreds of miles or meet face to face. It also increases the employment and therefore decreases the poverty in more developed countries. It breaks down the social and worldwide barriers, allowing the people to interact across the globe. Different races, cultures, backgrounds, and statuses interact. Communication is the vehicle which allows the human to recall the past, think in the present, and plan for the future. Thank you and have a cheerful day ahead.
Thank you. Code 033. Now I would request Sharada ma'am to ask a question to him.
Well, very nice presentation. I just have one question. You have used like communication over the ages. You talked about so many communication channels. Do you think that in real life, like this, the various channels of communication that are being used, are they being used correctly? Even for the near and dear ones, we prefer to, sometimes in the same family, you just send, you want to talk something, you want to ask something, you do it through WhatsApp or telephone instead of going and talking to the person. The next door neighbor, instead of going and talking to the person, you prefer messaging or calling. Do you think that's a good mode? What are the pros or cons of that?
Ma'am, actually it depends. Ma'am, it is a diplomatic answer. As a person who would be staying far, for example, he would be staying in the foreign countries, then it will be difficult for the physical interaction. But for example, we need to meet our neighbors, some family relatives, so we can talk it offline also instead of going to the WhatsApp, Facebook. Those are the easy mean, but there are still some negative impacts, and it also over empowers the positive impact, and it create our burden on our skill and the physical endurance and the meeting and the communication with each other.
Okay, thank you, Amar. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have code 034 with the topic English language and its origin. I would request code 034 to please share the screen.
Good afternoon, all present over here. I am Nishraj Mahapatra, and today I am presenting a presentation on my chosen topic, the history of English language. So, for the introduction of history of English language, three Germanic tribes, namely the Angles, the Saxons, and the Jutes, crossed the North Sea near Denmark, Netherlands, and Northern Germany, and invaded Britain during the 5th century AD. Anglo-Saxon migrants brought Anglo-Frisian language, a dialect of German, in the mid of 5th to 7th century, later known as English language. The Angles came from England and the language was called English, from which the words England and English are derived. The original inhabitants of Britain spoke Celtic language. They were pushed west and north by the invaders, mainly into Wales, Scotland, and Ireland. The Old English. The Old English evolved from the language used by invading Germanic tribes. Old English did not sound or look like English today. Even native English speakers now face great difficulty in understanding Old English. Half of the most commonly used words in modern English have Old English roots. Old English was spoken until around 1100 AD. This picture depicts an Old English script, which is almost impossible for us to read now. The Middle English. In 1066 AD, England was conquered by the new Duke of Normandy, part of modern France. The language of new conquerors, called the Normans, a dialect of French, became the language of the royal court and the upper class consisting the ruling and business classes. The lower classes spoke English. In 14th century, English became dominant in Britain again, but with many French words added. This language is called Middle English, but it would still be difficult for native English speakers to understand today. Geoffrey Chaucer, 1340 to 1400, the father of English language and the great poet, wrote in this Middle English. This picture depicts the Middle English script. Maybe some are visible and understandable, but rest. Early modern or neoclassical period. From the 16th century, the British had established colonies and trade relationship with many nations, and thus came to contact with many peoples from around the world. The inventions of printing brought a common language in print. Printing also brought standardization to English. The dialect of London became the standard language. Books became cheaper and more people learned to read. Classical writings were made in prose. The renaissance of classical learning infused many new words and phrases in the language. Vowels being pronounced shorter and shorter. Spelling and grammar became fixed. In 1604, the first English dictionary was published. Late modern English. The main difference between early modern English and late modern English is vocabulary. During this period, many more words were infused into the English lexicon. These new words emerged from firstly the Industrial Revolution and technology, and secondly the British Empire at its height covered 1/4 of the Earth's surface. The English language adopted foreign words from many countries. The languages were exchange word with English. As a statistical rule, around 70% of words in any text are Anglo-Saxon. Moreover, the grammar is largely Anglo-Saxon. A significant portion of the English vocabulary comes from Romance and Latinate sources. Estimates of native words range from 20% to 33%. Also, borrowings come directly from Latin, one of the Roman languages, Anglo-Norman and French. It also adopted words from Italian, Portuguese, Gothic, Greek, and Spanish language. The influence of Latin in English, therefore, is primarily lexical in nature. English being the lingua franca. More than 350 million in the world has been speaking English as their first language. On the other hand, almost 500 million people are using English as the second language. It is considered to be the world's lingua franca, the common language or mode of communication that enables people to understand one another regardless of their cultural and ethical backgrounds. In dealing with economic and political trades, English is also known to be the native language of many countries. It can be easy to learn. It is widely spoken by a lot of people. Now coming to Anglo-Indian English, The British East India Company came to Western India, port of Surat, in 1608 AD as traders in spices, silk, cotton, indigo dye, tea, and opium. Britishers imposed the English language on India. People who aspired to acquire higher jobs and positions had to learn English. The British rulers wanted to establish a whole new class of Indians who thought like the British and adopted the ideology. The English dictionary is considered to be a rich one. Was it like that from before? No. During the British Raj, many languages came together with English and exchanged many words, which make it a rich and diverse one. Let's have a look on some of those. The word anonymous, which was adopted from the Greek language. The word loot from Hindi. The word utensil from French, as well as the word massage, which was adopted from Portuguese. In today's world, technology has been a great asset and people have started to learn many new things through technology. The world of technology is extended from radio, TV, DVD, VCD to CD-ROM, audio cassettes, computers, internet, electronic dictionary, PowerPoint, video, email, blogs. Technology has been used to both help and improve language learning. Technology enables teachers to adapt classroom activities and the language learning process through films and videos, apps, podcasts, pen pals, web quests, games, etc. It transforms students from passive recipients to active learners of more profound and enriching linguistic immersions through comprehensive apps. It provides technical tools, including interactive videos for students to learn the pronunciation of standardized language in an easy way. Now, based on what we saw today, I want to show you an example of an immersive learning nowadays. For that, we would like to have your permission to start this game. Here, the teacher basically assigns a set of few questions which are to be answered by the students by looking on the screen. They have the options on their phone. Which of one of the following is not an easy way to learn the English language? Here are the options, and there are a few. There are a few options which are presented on the device of the students. As all the students have answered it, here are the results. According to what they have answered and the correct answer being said, they get to know what the actual answer is and how the new things they learn it. For the next question, which is the best tool for studying English? Options are a textbook, an English dictionary, a computer game, a stereo, and pop music. And here are the answers. Next one, in which country can you learn the Midwest drawl? As the answers come, the answer was USA, but one answered it wrong. So he got to know what was actually the right one. And according to the right answers, they get points, which encourages them to do more answers which are better. Coming to the next question, it is, what is a KEA? As for the next question,
code 034. May I have your attention, please? Code
yes,
034. I think you can just skip this part.
Yes, ma'am, I'm skipping it.
You can straightway go to the next point.
Ma'am, actually, I had changed the number of questions, but I think it didn't change. That was all for this presentation. I hope you like my presentation.
Thank you. Code 034. I would request Ma'am Kabita to please ask question to him.
Okay, it's a beautiful presentation here. So you have talked about the use of technological sites and different varieties of things to really make your learning a very interesting one, a very means including some amazing games and all beautiful varieties of things there. Okay, my question is here. Okay, for you people, for especially secondary or senior secondary children, you are well alert about your goal and you know how to handle it properly. Do you think such type of technology is really beneficial for the small learners?
Yes, ma'am, it's actually very beneficial as people who are in the secondary or senior secondary classes.
I'm talking about the primary learners.
Yes,
Primary learners, can they really handle it?
yes, ma'am, they can handle it very properly because the use of technology drives them to a specific path which helps in their progress, and they are able to choose a path which is helpful in the future, and they can choose the careers more only, and because they can hear and you see many different type of careers which is useful for their so by seeing it, they can evaluate which is better career and which is what is better for their future, and by that they can and decide what they will do in the future.
Okay. Hope the young learners do really get benefit out of it, but they need to be guided properly, isn't it? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Coming on to the last presentation of the day, we have code 035. Code 035.
Yes, ma'am, am I visible and audible?
You are visible and your screen is also visible.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Very good evening to respected teachers. This is Prachi Patnaik going to present my views on the chosen topic, how technology has facilitated the learning of English. The illiterate of the 22nd century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. With the speed and development of English around the world, English is used as a second language in a country like India. It enjoys a high prestige in the country. At present, the role and status of English in India is higher than ever, as evidenced by its position as a key subject of medium of instruction and curriculum. As the number of English learners are increasing, different teaching methods have been implemented to test the effectiveness of the teaching process. Let us learn what is technology. The application of scientific knowledge is for practice purposes is called as technology. Technology is utilized for the upliftment of modern styles. With the speed and development of English around the world, English has been learned by more and more speakers. Let us know why we use technology. Technology which brings together tools to promote development, use and information exchange has as its main objective of making tasks easier and the solving of many problems. The development of new technologies helps to save lives. It improves works and make world better. The learning environment is more dynamic than ever before. With the advancement in technology, classrooms are being remolded and redefined in a number of ways to fit the evolving needs of modern digital learners. With the rise of remote learning, many higher educational institutions are substituting traditional resources with educational technologies in an attempt to keep up with the digital learning population. Let us know traditional
and new way of learning. As the use of English has increased by popularity, so has the need for qualified teachers to instruct students in the language. It is true that there are teachers who use cutting-edge technology, but the majority of teachers still teach in the traditional manner. None of these are bad or damaging to students. In fact, till date, they are proving to be useful though. Traditional way of learning. Traditional education technologies enable students to connect student to teacher face to face. The main goal is to facilitate communication and exchange of material among instructor and the listener. Grammatical approach is a traditional method in English learning and one of the first methods one might encounter in studying the language. Traditional learning happens face to face in a classroom setting with one trainer and group of learners. It's fixed to schedule. Traditional classroom teaching environment increases interaction among students and proves conducive environment to learn fellow students. Let us know about the new way of learning. Technology has been used to both help and improve language learning. It is discussed different attitudes which support English language learners to increase the learning skills through using technology. The recent internet-based technologies employed in English language instruction is Web 2.0 tools, such as Wiki, blog, and podcast. Students study the English course using comprehensive apps which synchronize even without the internet. We can learn English from certain apps like Linkway, Mesmerize, Buju, Aweb, Learn English Daily, and Bueling app. Students can use educational apps such as ELSA, Duolingo, etc. In the COVID-19 pandemic, technology allows students to connect with the teacher a while away from class. Technology gives teachers a lot of software to create more lifelike lessons for students. The use of new technology in language learning has become the perfect complement in reaching proficiency and fluency. And English courses accompanied by technological support are the most effective and attractive for students who want to be successful in their learning. By saying this, I would like to end my presentation judiciously by saying that positive use of technology can make our future better and easier. Thank you. Have a safe day ahead.
Thank you, code 035. And I would request Sharda ma'am to ask question to her, followed by your feedback.
Lovely presentation, Prachi. Your topic was how to use like technology in learning English. First of all, can you tell me, why do you think you should learn English? What is the purpose of learning English for you?
Ma'am, as we're in the 22nd century, it is the age of globalization and it is important to grasp on various foreign languages. But the most important comes English. So English language teaching has been with us from many years and its significance continues to grow partially by internet. And if we go to any other countries, what I feel is English is the most prominent language which we can use to communicate with others.
Well, absolutely. Yes, English is the language you need to communicate to others. To learn that language, do you really need the technology that you have told to learn? If that is the purpose of learning English, do you really need all those technology that you were saying, or you are in an English medium school? I think that should be sufficient. What are your views on that?
Actually, I feel that yes, it's actually beneficial. Like if we use like featuring audio visual or animation effects, like for example, if I give um, uh, like when we go to classrooms, our teacher means they used to show us modules in the smart board in which it contains animation effects, etc., which makes it more fun and easier to learn. So I feel that that makes it easier, and not only be in English medium school. I think those who are not so much educated or something, they can use their electronic devices to learn English, which is actually beneficial for the future.
Absolutely, for them it is beneficial. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Now, as we have come to the end of the presentation, the formal part, I would request Sharada ma'am to give her feedback. And then in the meantime, I would also request both the judges to compile the results so that you can nail it. And then just ma'am can give us the feedback. Sharda ma'am can give us the feedback so that it will help the
Yes,
students to improve.
Absolutely. I think the students did a very nice job. Wonderful, creative, innovative ideas. We get to learn so much when we, when we watch all these lovely ideas and the way all of you presented. Very nice. Just one thing, all of us have taken too much of technology we have learned of, but what I think Kavita ma'am already informed all of you also. She also presented the same views even I had. I asked one of the student also about the ebook and the textbook. Remember one thing, yes, the books that we get online, we have access to more of them. We can carry it very easily, but it can never give you the feeling of holding a textbook in your hand, the new book. So don't really forget that feeling, because technology has brought us to this, COVID has brought us to this scenario where we are even reading textbooks. The textbooks are very easy to carry, our English textbooks, they're very thin. So let's not forget the essence. We should read more and more, and yes, the Kindle and all the online apps that we have, we should use it, but at the same time we should not forget the real essence of holding a book, a new book, the smell of it. The same way, we should not forget the essence of living a real life and get carried away with technology and its, the virtual reality that technology creates for us. So today's day, actually, this is very much important for all of us to retain our originality along with being acquainted with the technology. Absolutely, technology is a must for all of us now, a necessity in our life, but let us not forget our roots. So let us be connected to the real world also. So that is one suggestion and one advice that I really want all my students, all those lovely students here, to carry forward. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's rightly said that we can take help of technology, but certainly it cannot replace the things. The essence, the pleasure of reading books, that cannot be achieved through e-books, right? And as we said, adversity definitely gives us more of, we go close to technology, but only in the times of adversity, but we cannot take it as a permanent thing in our life. Okay, next we have, I would request Kavita ma'am to give her feedback.
Okay. I must say that I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed by the quality of presentation, the way they have picked up a lot of topics related to technology. I doubt the topics are given by the teachers, or they have prepared it all by themselves. Is it by themselves?
And the ideas were initially theirs. We had just somewhere we modified it, but they had conceived the idea.
Okay, very
they
good.
had these things in their mind.
They've really used the technology to come for the presentation.
Yes.
So they have widely used the technology
Yes.
here, but I just want to say here that just like one is a good servant but a bad master, likewise, technology is a good servant. You can use a varieties of technology to go for your presentation, especially in online mode. We are really flattered. We are really very much impressed and mesmerized by the way of the expression, the way of the collection of all the materials together. And many of the important facts I have also means recorded here. I feel that it will be really helpful for me also in real life situation in class room, especially in offline classes. But at the same time, it's an advice to all the children: don't be so much techno savvy. Okay, you can be techno savvy here, but don't make technology your master. At one point of time, you lose your own humanity, you lose your own originality, you lose your relationship which should be built up during this period of time. Especially this senior secondary section means it's a time to develop relationship, human relationship. So in that way I find if you come back to the school with in the offline classes, you can really develop that beautiful relation, the teacher student relationship, which was lagging behind for last 2 years. And technology, no doubt, has really helped you to come up in your life, thanks to COVID also. In that way, it's a positive part of COVID that all of us could have a good knowledge of technology to put it all together. Okay, but at the same time, don't be slaves of the technology. Take out some time to see the nature, see the people around you, and to get connected. That is what we call connecting the dots. Connect yourself to the real life situation and be practical in your life. Thank you all of you for giving me a beautiful opportunity to update my technology in many ways, and certainly I'll be also using those technology in future days. Thank you all of you.
Thank you, madam. So as we come to the end of the exhibition, it is a formality part to go for the expression of gratitude. So I feel very honored to accord the expression of gratitude here. First of all, my sincere thanks to our revered principal, madam, who is the guiding force behind this event and to make it a success. My special thanks to the members of jury, Madam Kavita Kanungo and Madam Sarda Khuntia, because your encouraging words in the beginning itself made the event really lifelike and very lively. And I also thank my colleagues, Vijay Bharti Madam, Satyabrata Sir, Sutanika Madam, and Rakhi Madam for your cooperation and contribution this event could happen. And my special thanks, very sincere thanks to all the participants because of your new ideas. We definitely enjoyed this 2.5 hours of session and we learned a lot of things.